Well, hello there, motherfuckers. I wanted to make a video here. I started talking about this in my previous video about how WWE has become a wrestling show. Now, Brad, there's wrestling on WWE. This is a wrestling show, right? Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. This is technically a wrestling show for what it is, but really, WWE has been more of a TV show than a wrestling show. And what do I mean by that? Well, a wrestling show is like an indie show, or the way how the NWA or AWA used to be. Now, you could argue that they had storylines, but those are formatted very much like a wrestling show. WWE was always entertainment since the 80s, pretty much. They used to be a wrestling company, but they're sports entertainment. I understand what that means, sports entertainment. This is not exactly a sport, it's predetermined and everything, but still there's athletics involved. So you got sports, and then you have entertainment, because really this is meant to entertain you, and the entertainment part comes with the storylines and the characters, just like a TV show that has characters in it. Each person, each actor plays a role, has a character that has its own individual personality and all that. But see, nowadays, you don't have individuals, you just have wrestlers. They're still called superstars. There was a reason why McMahon, and I kind of, always thought that it was stupid. I remember this. I was getting so annoyed at one time when I was really exposed to the internet, when it started growing, like, and YouTube came out and everything. I was actually, I was brainwashed. I don't know if anybody ever read these wrestling columns before. There used to be Arnold Furious. I think he still does columns once in a while on 411 Mania. And I would listen to Scott Keith and all these guys. He's a Canadian journalist. He has, Scott Keith's Blog of Doom. And I would be listening to Wade Keller, and these guys, and James Caldwell, and I would go by what these guys were saying, and I'd say these guys know wrestling, and then I really took a look at it more closely, and then I realized something: they don't know jack shit about fucking wrestling. Now, I've said it time and time again, and I guess most people agree with me because they don't seem like they ever say anything. I've mentioned it a number of times. uh, James Caldwell and Wade Keller, their PW torches, I've always looked at them and I don't know what the fuck. Like, they do a review, and guys, like, you pretty much know what I want from wrestling. I want quality storylines. When they do start, like, giving some storylines and stuff, like with Vince and Shane, I said that, that storyline's not as good as the past ones, but at least they're doing something. At least it's meaningful. And they are trying. But they just, I don't know what they want. They criticize any type of storyline. They don't. They never know what they want, and they always complain when things are over sexualized and stuff like that. And it just, I don't think the guys really like the WWE, and they probably shouldn't be reviewing it, because they're actually pretty fucking terrible reviews. And same thing with Scott Keith. I watched this guy. I used to respect his opinion. I was like, the guy knows a good match when he sees it. He talks about psychology. But then I realized every single time that there was like a storyline or something, he'd put it down as stupid or childish or something like that. And then I saw that he started reviewing Impact. And I remember that he once gave like a triple threat match with Kurt Angle, Chavo, and like Kazarian or some shit like that. And he gave it 3.5 stars. And I almost fucking. I remember I reviewed that match. I looked at his column like maybe a couple of weeks after I reviewed the match in an Impact review. And I was like, that guy is totally out of his fucking mind. And I remember, I would read his book that he came out with in this very ring, which was a collection of like his articles and blogs and shit like that. And it was in book format, all bound together and shit. And the thing is, I realized I was being corrupted, and then I really thought about it for a while. And before I started doing reviews here on YouTube, I realized something that WWE is not supposed to be all about wrestling. It's supposed to be about entertainment. And I haven't seen a lot of that in a long time. And the thing is, people want wrestling. They want good wrestling matches. And do we get that from WWE? We do. But the thing is, even when there's a good match, we don't really even remember it all that much. They're forgotten. They're distant memories. Like, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm watching Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens risk their life in a ladder match. No, it wasn't even a ladder match. It was a fucking last man standing there, but they did have a ladder in it. And the thing was, I couldn't care less about this match. And I don't know what it was, but it was probably just because I didn't give a fuck about the build up. I wasn't given a reason to do so. And so when the match actually happened, I said that this match it's great, but it's forgettable. I'm not really into it. Like, I know it's a good match. I gave it a good rating, but the thing was, I couldn't get into it. The guys are risking their life. Kevin Owens is flipping through a fucking table off the top rope, and it's like, what is the problem here? They're not building this up in the proper way. And that's what it's all about. It's just, you look at Raw. They start off with a promo. It's very, very much in the vein of what I used to complain about, and they've become even more like this. There were some moments when they were really trying to get some storylines going and make things exciting. And I said this, I really liked the direction that the company was taking in 2011. It wasn't an amazing year, but there was some things in that year that I enjoyed. Now you take a look at 2012 and you see where they started to fuck up. But in 2011, there was a lot of controversial things. There was interesting storylines. You had like wrestlers picketing. You had CM Punk with the work shoot, and things were going crazy, leaving the company, and just a lot of interesting things happening. And I enjoyed that for the most part. I really did. I was starting to really enjoy that year, but then I don't know what happened. They just started to go in the other direction. They started taking a step in the right direction, and then pretty much just turned around and went the other way, a complete fucking 180. Now, you take a look at Raw nowadays, and it's like I said, start off with a promo, but it's too much of a. They were doing this with Seth Rollins. It was too much like Bobby Roode is TNA champion. Just come out there, cut a bland ass promo. Now he's a better talker than Bobby Roode, but it was very much like that. Seth Rollins not showing any character, not showing any personality, not letting us know who he is. No attempt at even trying to fix this on creative side. Just have him come out there. And then from that point on, it was match, 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 match. And that's what it is. It's just an assortment of matches. I remember there was some Raws where there would be like 9 matches on. It's fucking crazy. Just how many matches there are. We're guaranteed now, guaranteed every Raw to have 2 Divas matches. And both are just as worthless as the other. One will involve the women's title and one won't. And I just, these formulas are just fucking, I understand what they're trying to do. They want to put more spotlight on it. A lot of times the other match will be for Total Divas or something to promote that show. But we're not even really told that we should watch it. And that's all that this is. It's just a bunch of fucking matches. And I'm not saying I'm opposed to matches. If you're not watching wrestling, one of the big reasons you're watching is the matches. then chances are you're just there for the entertainment, and that's the biggest part. But most people want to see the matches, but I only want to see matches if they're built up properly and they have interesting characters. Why would I want to see two guys just wrestle? I could ask anybody on the street to dress up in fucking underwear and just fucking grab each other. I mean, for God's sakes, I want to see two guys where I can appreciate them for who they are, and I understand their motives as characters that's the thing. Now I'm like, that's why I'm saying I don't like AJ and Jericho at WrestleMania. Now, I'm not saying that AJ was always bursting with personality, but now he's in the WWE. Now's the perfect time to give him a personality. Tell us why we should like AJ Styles. But they're not going to do that. It's all about, oh, I respect you, AJ. And now Jericho turned on him. But it's so cookie cutter. So fucking cookie cutter. And there's no that's it. They're just so lacking in any characters or personality. It's just all wrestlers, and that's what they are. They're professional wrestlers. They're not acting like superstars. The reason why they chose that name was so you set them apart from indie wrestlers. These are superstars. These are larger than life characters, and there's nobody on this roster that feels larger than life. There really isn't. I will even admit that with Daniel Bryan. The guy didn't seem large in life, but some guys just they have the it factor. And there's nobody that I see on this current roster now that has the it factor. I'll say it right now. Guys like Dean Ambrose, they're okay and stuff. Really, well, the only one is like Brock Lesnar. Because that guy just looks larger than life. Because he's large and stuff, but everybody else, they have potential with someone like Bray Wyatt, but they completely fucked that up. They fucked him over. It's just this is just it is. It's just a wrestling show. There's no entertainment. There's no that vibe where they could take over SNL for a fucking for one weekend. And Saturday night's main event because it's so huge and so colossal. It doesn't WrestleMania doesn't have the extravagance that it did. I mean, for God's sakes, even a shitty ass WrestleMania, like WrestleMania 11 even feels more important than any WrestleMania. You notice that you don't see any celebrities getting involved now and everything like that. Like who'd you have? Jon Stewart, but back in the day, like I mentioned, WrestleMania 11, at least Jenny McCarthy, Pamela Anderson, fucking all these fucking huge personalities, Mike Tyson and everybody getting involved. And, now no one wants to even touch this shit with a 10-foot pole because it's boring as fuck. It really is. And they need to fucking address this already. I mean, how long is this going to go on with the falling ratings and just, pretending like everything is fine and all that? I mean, they're having Shane McMahon come out there and say that this product is horrible. And I've always said that I am so against when they have somebody on the show admits that the show sucks. They were having Shane McMahon come out there like last week and even the week where he debuted, and they had him say that this show is bad, the ratings are falling and all that. Then right after he says that, they go and have the same old fucking shit. I mean, seriously? And, and then they have Sami Zayn, who I like. He's a great wrestler, seems like a nice guy, but once again, runs out there. Nobody even remembers who the fuck he is. They cheered for him because they're in Chicago. But, another guy with no character, no personality, no background given, just runs out there into the naked eye. Someone who's not familiar with wrestling, it just seems like a fucking random fucking dude with a beard is just fucking running out to the ring and beating up on Kevin Owens. I mean, a guy like Kevin Owens, he shows that he's got a sarcastic personality. Do they capitalize on it? No. So it just seems like a fucking fat boy and the fucking, bearded mystery man fucking brawling at ringside. That's all you fucking see when you look at it. I mean, it's like you look back and you think about, Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and all these guys, and you knew instantly who they are. They're identifiable, and even people who didn't watch wrestling knew who Stone Cold and The Rock was, or Mankind and shit, based on things. Mankind was the one with the mask. Stone Cold was the bald headed guy with the goatee. People who were just completely clueless about wrestling still knew who these guys were. They were on the cover of TV Guide. They were on the cover of fucking newspapers, for God fucking sakes. Now, nothing. Fucking nothing. We can't identify. We don't know who these are. These guys are not over. I hear people saying over all the time, Seth Rollins is over. No, 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 no. You go to a group, say you're at the bar, no one watches wrestling there, and you bring up Seth Rollins. People are like, who? Daniel Bryan. Who are these people? No, I'm sorry, but yeah, they are over in a sense with the live crowd, but they're not household names. I guess you could say, yeah, over, but household names? No, 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 no. Not truly over at all. There you go, guys. I don't know how you fucking feel about this, but this is how I fucking feel. I'm sick of this being wrestling and not sports entertainment. Like I said, I'm a WWE fan. I've always been more on their side than any other company because they give me the type of entertainment I'm looking for. And right now, they ain't doing that.